Hey, superstar, if you want to live longer and boost your bank account, stick around. My name is Tandisa Mahe, and I have decided to hop onto a wonderful business opportunity with Forever Living Products. And in this video, I want to actually share how I actually got into this business and why I chose Forever Living Products. All right, please do me a favor and like this video and also hit the subscribe button so that you can be able to be aware when you put out new content. Once again, switch on the notification bell as well. Now, I am a person that actually loves all things entrepreneurship, all things business. I'm always on the lookout for new opportunities all the time. That's the kind of person that I am. And I thought when I came into contact with Forever Living Products, the opportunity that this is something that I could pursue, and I thought that this is something that I could actually be successful in it. So for context, for people that don't know what I was doing before, I actually left my employment about 5 years ago. I was working for a nonprofit company in the Eastern Cape. That's where I'm based. I'm based in a small town called Queenstown, Komani, in the Eastern Cape. So I was working for this nonprofit company since actually graduating, and having my actual degree. And I got into that company and worked for it for about 7 to 8 years, and then resigned in 2019, 2020, around there, around COVID times. And I told myself that I'm going to go out there and start a business. And I started my own consulting firm. It's called Wisdom for Business. And I've been running that, ever since. It wasn't easy getting it off the ground. It was really, really hectic, but it got to a place where it stabilized and it was able to sustain itself. So that's what I was doing before I came into Forever Living Products. The major question that you would ask yourself is, what kind of challenges was I faced with? And this business opportunity, Forever Living, is actually an opportunity for anyone and everyone that is facing some form of a challenge, and you're looking for something that can help you out of that. I think for me, I was not, under any pressure. I don't want to lie. I don't want to say that I was really, really under pressure, but I did have debt. I had a lot of debt, and I was servicing my debt. Most debt you service every month, and I was afloat with that. But I just had this thing in my heart where I wanted to live a life where I did not have any form of bad debt. Now, remember, debt is not the same. There's good debt and then there's bad debt. In this context, I'm talking about bad debt. So I wanted to actually get rid of this debt. I just had a wish. I had a yearning, I had a thirst. So I wanted to live a life that does not have, debt involved in it at any level. I would think about this, but then when I would look at my debt, it would be impractical and sort of impossible for me to be like, I would be able to pay it off, because it was a lot. Servicing it would have meant that I would have paid it over, a period of others 5, 7, 8, 10 years. In terms of their varying conditions. So that is the reason why when I came into contact with the Forever Living opportunity, I said, this is what I could use. This is something that I could start for extra income, and I could start as a side hustle around what I'm doing, around my existing business. And I could do it, allocate the time that I want to allocate to it and make sure that I do it in the comfort of everything else that I'm doing. I don't want it to come in and eliminate what I'm doing, but it looks like something that I could actually start, and I could use that extra income I was generating from this opportunity to pay off my debt. So that was the plan. I want to talk about how I found Forever Living Products. And, it actually amazes me even to this day that, I went on for such a long time in life, and I didn't even know that there was a company called Forever Living Products. I was not aware. Like, I just did not know, And I don't know what I could say is the reason why it's not like in our faces all the time. Because honestly, when the opportunity came to me, it was the very first time I was hearing about it. Like, now that I'm an adult, there is no one that has ever come to me and presented the opportunity. There is no one that has contacted me and said to me, Thandi, you know what, this is something that could be great for you. Like, no one. And the interesting thing is that after now I had come into the business, a lot of people around me came up to say, you know what, we never thought that you would come into this opportunity, hence we never presented to you. And I'm like, that's the worst mistake you can ever make. Never presume. That's one thing I learned in that process. Never presume you know a person's mind, a person's thinking, what they want, what they don't want. Never do that, okay? Because you never know. You really never know. So I was having a conversation with my sponsor, Ms. Toneka Jama, and we were having a conversation around my consulting business. And this conversation had nothing to do with Forever Living Products. It was just literally a conversation on the consulting side of the world, you know. And we're having this conversation, and somewhere in the conversation, I don't even really remember how it happened, how it came in, you know. I just feel like it was so God ordained, and it was so, like, it was so led. It was so out of both of our controls, but God knew what he was doing, that I don't even know how it came into the conversation. I think it was something like, she said in passing, you know, the fact that she had some things to do, Glenoka Forever and whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. And this time when we're having the conversation, I was starting to see a couple of videos on social media. As a person that is on social media, I started to see a couple of videos of people talking about this business, Forever Living Products. But for me, it was not being presented as a business. It was just, I don't know. It was more of a lifestyle. It's like, in my mind, it came through as like, you know, this kind of life that other people are living, this kind of lifestyle that other people are living. And it's got something called Forever. But I didn't have the context of it can actually be a business or a side hustle. You could actually make extra income out of it. I didn't have that. So because I had been seeing those videos, when she spoke about it, it linked. And I was like, my dear, can you please explain to me this thing Forever? What is it all about? You know, what is the deal with this? Like, just explain it to me. And because we had a separate relationship to the actual business, you know, I trusted her, and she trusted me, because we were having a relationship around the consulting space. And you know, I sort of felt like she's close to me in a way, like she's not on social media. She's not she's not someone I don't know, you know. So now she can actually give me exactly what this business is all about. She did not even blink. She went right into it. Gave me a high-level presentation covering many sections. I like the fact that she did not emphasize the money, because anything that you are bringing to people and you emphasize too much the money, it sort of feels like a bit scammy. So she didn't do that. She just told me the whole presentation, and I felt like, oh my gosh, this is a business opportunity. And guess what? When we were having this conversation, it was on a Friday. And it was on a Friday, and it being a Friday, she said there would be a physical presentation that would be happening in my town on the Sunday. I was like, I'm there. I went there to the presentation, the formal presentation. It was really lovely. And that's when I made a decision. And when I went there, because I had already spoken to her and I knew her, I told myself that, okay, I'm going to join under you in the business, because it's a network marketing opportunity. So you have to join in someone's team. So I was like, I'm going to join under you, but I'll go to the presentation. She was in Johannesburg at the time, so she didn't make it to the actual presentation, but her upline and other managers in the team, yeah, were there. Everything went beautifully. When I left there, I remember when I was sitting there, in my mind, as the presentation was going on, I had this question: can I really do this? I had this question about, is this something that I can actually do? Like, I had that moment, and I'm not even going to lie about it. I had that moment where I was asking myself, is this something that I can do? You know? And I had to quickly answer that question. And I answered that question in the truest form. And I said, yes, I can do this. And I said, yes, I can do this. And on top of saying, yes, I can do it, I said, yes, I will do it. I'm going to sign up for this business. At the time, the Start Your Journey combo, which is a startup combo that you get your first batch of products was 6,825. Right now it's 7,110. I said, I'm going to take 6,825. And I don't want to lie, there was that sound of doubt in my mind. The sound of doubt said, what if you're wasting your money? And I said, I have spent 6,825 so many times doing things that I don't even know, doing things that did not even materialize to anything, wasting it. So if this doesn't work, it will be one of those. I will take it as it's just one of those, you know? And I decided I'm going to take this money. The interesting thing, I did not have a conversation with my husband, but I did not have a conversation with my husband about this. I'm married, I'm a mother. I've been married, this is the 12th year now. I'm a mother of 3. And I didn't tell my husband about this at this point. But you know what I was doing? Every single time in that space, like after I had the conversation with Miss Chama on that Friday, I started listening to all the videos. I started researching and listening to videos, and I just listen loud. And my husband was also hearing this, and and it also sparked interest with him. But I didn't know the full extent because we didn't sit down and discuss it. But when I came back from that Sunday, I said, baby, I'm doing this. And he was like, oh, okay, explain it more and stuff. So we sat down, we had the conversation then after I was coming back from the presentation, and I had already made the decision that I'm getting into this. So yeah, my husband was very supportive. My husband supports everything that I do as long as it makes sense. So we sit down, we look at the books, we can afford to pay this money, we have an understanding, and we understand that it's an opportunity, it's a chance. We are taking a chance, and we made that decision consciously. So we decided, and lo and behold, I actually joined the business. That's how I joined the business. And I think one mistake that I can say I did was I waited for my box to arrive before I actually, like the products, to have the products at hand, before I actually started talking about the opportunity and putting word out there that I am now in this business. I think it's a mistake. With my team now, like anyone who comes and becomes part of my team that wants to take the opportunity, I always say you sell the box before it arrives. And it works for so many people. Obviously, I was able to sell my box within 3 days, but I will share that in a different video. But I came into the business and I told myself that I am going to do this and I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to give it my all. With every opportunity that comes my way, I always tell myself that, okay, it's new ground. This was completely new ground. It's different ground. But what I tell myself is I'm going to give it my all. When it fails, I will know that I have tried everything that is in my power to make it a success. I'm at peace. And when it succeeds, I'm still going to be at peace, knowing that I have done everything that is in my power. And obviously, with growth and success, you're always looking for ways to make it better, to re-strategize, to improve, and to grow more and more. So that is how I actually got into Forever Living Products. Right now, I am in the business and I am enjoying every minute of it, right? With both its challenges and its opportunities. But can I tell you a secret? I joined this business just at the end of September 2024. And after having joined this business in September 2024, I have been in this business. Now, when I'm making this video, it's mid-May, right? I have been in this business for about 7 months, right? And let me tell you something. I have been able to pay off all the debt that I started this business with. And as I say that, I do want to be transparent and say that this business is, like, I cannot guarantee that you are going to get the same results that I got, because it's dependent on the efforts that you put in, the commitment, the showing up, the determination, the waking up every day and making sure that you are strategizing about the business, making sure that you're obsessing about the business. Results, they vary. There are no guarantees, okay? I want to put it out there. You can come into this business and achieve the same success that I have achieved if you're willing to put in the same effort that I have put in. Or you can come into this business and achieve way more than I have achieved. You could also come into this business and achieve nothing. It's up to you what you do with the opportunity. It's like a key. When I talk about it, I say it's like a key. Being part of this business is like being given a key, and it's your choice which doors you open, how many doors you open with the key, which doors you open with the key. But it's a key that opens everything that you can ever imagine is a door and you want opened in your life. And it's really, really been such an amazing, amazing journey. And there's no business that you're going to do that is not going to be facing challenges. So if you're a person that thinks that, you know what, I can't deal with challenges, then I don't think this business is for you. Because every single business, you can ask any business person, every single business and every single opportunity that comes in your life, it will come with challenges. But guess what? Every challenge that comes, you can also resolve. So yeah, that is how I came into this business. If there are specific areas about the opportunity, about the business, and any area that you would want me to clarify, just drop me in the comment section a message and be specific. Send me a question, send me a comment about an area that you want me to clarify, and I'll gladly do another video actually clarifying that. If you would like to be part of the opportunity and you would want to be part of my team, you can definitely take my details. I have put them in bio, I have put them in the description, and you can always reach out to me and I'll definitely assist you. Otherwise, please like the video if you got any value out of it. And also, please consider subscribing and switching on the notification bell so that you are kept abreast of when we put out new content. That's all from me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.